Oh my God. Okay. Thank God. I am here. Thank you so much for waiting for me. Let me know if you can hear me. Tell me who you are and what's going on with you. Where are you from? In the chat bar, and we will start the podcast. Well, it's kind of a podcast. It's a bit of a live stream. So the hair is getting too long to be reasonable right now. But do let me know if you can hear me. And I'm just going to check to see if it is going to allow me to do this in landscape. Nope. All right. That's fine. That's fine. How are you guys getting on? Hi from Arizona. Hi, Kayla. How are you getting on? Welcome to my little craft room. I have cleaned out my craft room for the first time in a long time. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Helen. Oh, two Lisas. Hi. One Lisa and one Lisa. Hello, Paul. Cashew Paul. Unless your first name is Cashew, you got to tell me the story about that name. I mean, I do love cashews, so I'm big into that. Hello from Las Vegas. Oh, Susie. I'm not wearing my Camino necklace at the moment, but I have a little bit of a story about this necklace, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. I got your questions, and I have, yes, I'm delighted about your questions. Are you the yarn mage, Kayla? Because you were the only person who asked 2 questions, so I'm assuming. Hello from Kensington, Maryland. Hello from Maine. 2 people from Maine. Do you know each other? Adina and Julie? Surely. How many people can be in Maine? Millions. You can hear me in Phoenix. Fabulous. Hello from Beaumont. Hello, Deborah. How are you? So, my God, this hair is long. Sorry. Distracting. Hello. Not yet. Hey. Maybe I can make you friends. Babbles friends. So, welcome to my little craft room. Oh, lovely. Hi, Laura. How are you? So today I've got loads to talk to you about. Some knitting, some things that I've got. One little bit of spinning. Actually, 2 little things that I've got. This necklace being one of them. I love it. And some mask making and sewing that I've been doing. So what should we start with? Should we start with the knitting? Will we start with that? Beans are toast are good. Beans is outside being a little poopy head. She likes to disappear for days on end. Not days on end, for hours on end. She always comes home like late when she's in, but like she gives us heart attacks. Oh, God. But Beans is very floopy. He's been flooping around. Very cute. You're knitting a dishcloth for your kitchen. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's lovely. I really want to weave some dishcloths and kind of things like that. So I must really do that. Hello, Canada. Hello from Nova Scotia. West Yorkshire. Hello. The UK crowd. Yorkshire, Sheffield. Fabulous. Hi, Caroline. Excuse me. So, hello and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. My name is Grace. You can also find me on Instagram as Vanna Willamille. I'm on TikTok, but I just watch things because I'm a millennial person who decided, you know what, I need non-depressing media and TikTok is my bag for that business. Oh my God, it's great crack. Anyway, so I've done one, but it's my name is not the same, so you can't find me. I'm going to delete it. My friend made me do it. I'm like, no, I don't weird. It's weird. I'm too old for this. But no. Hello from Michigan. So, what else? So I have been working a lot. I work, in case you don't know, I am a radiographer and I work in a large hospital here in Ireland, not in Dublin. Thank God, because Dublin's been hit hardest by the C word. So I don't know if we're saying it. Are we saying it? I don't know. So I was working on Friday night and it wasn't too bad because we've now got a lot of people working on nights, because before we'd only have 1 or 2 of us at any one time. Now we've got 5 in-house, which is great. Because you've got backup if you need to help donning and doffing all the PPE and stuff. So that's great. It was a busy night, But yes, everything is going okay so far. We flattened the curve. Yes! The peak was supposed to hit last week and it's all under control. Oh, thank God, because yeah, we've been doing a good job and I'm proud. I'm proud of us all. I'm proud of you. And you and you and you. So thank you very much for making our lives much easier and saving other people's lives. Ta-da! Stay home, wash your hands. Okay. So yes, it is. We are lucky, Laura. And now hopefully everyone keeps doing the things that they're supposed to do, because that's the only way that we're going to keep on top of this until we've got a vaccine. But I'm hoping it all blows over by September. But I just don't know. So because September is when I'm getting married with a big party. So let's jump into that. My wedding dress. So if you don't know, I have been knitting a part of my wedding dress, the top section of my wedding dress. So it's been super fun. It's hand spun. So just a few tips if you're going to be knitting your wedding dress. Make it so personal so that if it's not perfect, people cannot say anything, because you made it yourself from scratch. And I'm like, so I hand spun the yarn out of BFL and silk from who was it? John Arbon. John Arbon was so this is kind of a cobweb weight. Hello, another hello from Pennsylvania. I know, right, Kayla? You know what? They can't say a thing because I made it myself. You try hand spinning, hand designing, hand knitting a wedding dress. Oh, Knit Nottingham. Yeah, she's great. So it's kind of creamy color and it's kind of fluffy, but it's a single. This is, if anyone remembers, before Christmas, when I spun this up and I left it out to dry, Mr. Beans thought it would be a great idea to just taste test it. And now it's a lot of little balls. But you know what? I spun 110 grams and I managed to save about 90 grams. And it's so thin that I think I don't need any more from it, judging by what I've got on the needles already. So what I did then was, I have it in this really cute little kitten bag. And I cannot remember if it was Catherine or Joe or maybe someone else from my retreat that had this. Oh my God, on my look back video, like on a pic, you know, this time last year picture, we were at the retreat. I had to cancel it. Sad. But anyway, so this was given to me maybe last year for my retreat. Yay. Just reminding you, you've hand spun on the washing line. Bex. I hope there's no kittens or dogs around. Isn't it adorable? Isn't it adorable? Look at the little hearts. It's very apt because of the kitten destroying. I was like, well, I'm going to put the yarn was in my kitten, so I'm going to put more yarn in this kitten bag. Why have I gone really American? Oh, I'll tell you why, actually. I was doing some research, which I will talk to you about later in answering some of the questions that were asked to me on Instagram. So, but this is my design of my, oh gosh, I haven't pulled this out in a while, actually. Maybe 2 or 3 days, and now I'm super confused. So this was a hacked design. The design I started out with was the Little Cardi by Julie Knits in Paris, and it was super cute. I really liked the shape of it. So it starts out kind of large on the top, and then it cinches in at the waist, and she also has a really nice increase for the raglan increases, and it has a deep V, which is exactly what I wanted. So are you ready to see it? Are you ready to see it? I think I did this wrong. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Why is this happening? Okay, there it is. Oh no. Yes, it's okay. I got it. I got it. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a bit stressful, lads. Sorry about that. So this is the start of my wedding dress. So the lace at the back is actually, it's all very kind of amorphous, kind of foamy lace. I really didn't want straight lines or very recognizable motifs because I have the handspun. So that's automatically not going to, you know, it's not going to, it's just going to look a bit unfinished. So I wanted this kind of like foamy type, random kind of maybe flowery, but like sprays of flowers sort of thing. So yeah, so this is the top half. So it's going to be essentially a little jumper because as usual, I've turned a cardigan into a jumper. Because I can't stand purling. And I'm managing to knit this lace somehow. So that is going to go down to my natural waist, which is about here. And then we're going to sew a skirt. And I've got a bodice made up already. I got a bodice made in, actually I can show you the bodice. Oh no, I can't, just in case James watches. I mean, it's impossible to keep from him the pattern and stuff, but it is fun. It is fun to pretend. So what I initially wanted was kind of narrow sleeves and just get them joining down there. But when I split for the sleeves, it was way too big. And I'm like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So now what I want to do is butterfly sleeves. So I'm going to make them nice and big and butterfly and add beads and things. And I think it's going to be really cute. Maybe. I don't really know how to manage the edges. I mean, they might be okay. I might not do anything with them. You know, that's just where I cast on. You know, they might be okay once it's on, it might be okay. But if it's not tidy enough, I might just crochet a little, I don't know, a little bit of a lacy edge on it maybe, a little scallop maybe. Just don't know. Yeah, it is nice. And do you know what? There's so much work going into it that everything is really hard. Turn your brain off for a little bit. And if the weather's nice, sit out in the sunshine with a glass of wine and knit really complicated lace. Then make some mistakes and be like, hey, it's handspun. I'm making up the design. Nobody knows the real design and nobody ever will. So what are you gonna do about it? Thanks very much. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I say really enjoying, I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. And I have forgotten, like I keep going over and my numbers don't match up and I'm like, another thing to fiddle and then ignore because you know what? It's a foamy, mystical masterpiece. Don't spill the wine. It's white wine. It's white wine. I'm not crazy. Yeah. So, do you know, because like life is hard enough right now. I don't need to be like panicking about all that. But yeah, so hence the foamy thing. I like that. I just came up with that reason there now, so that was good. So I blocked half of it before I split for the sleeves. So you can see, let's show. So that is it blocked up the top, and then as you go down, it's kind of a little bit more kind of wibbledy. Do you see the difference there? It's a little bit more wibbledy and it's a lot more flat up there. So I will be blocking every time I need to make like a fit decision. So once I've gone down past the boobs on the, you know, this front little section, once I've gone down past the boobs and when I need to start like decreasing in to get the nice waist on it, then I'll block it again and I'll see what I need to do. Yeah, I don't, you see, the thing is, so my wedding's in September and I only need to knit down to about my waist. I'm not knitting the whole thing. If you want to see an incredible dress, it's called Getting Married, this Instagram, I follow this Instagram page called Getting Married in a Sweater. and she has knit the whole dress, the skirt already, and she's had to postpone her wedding now, because I think it was due to be in May, but it's a stunning piece, and she's starting on the body now, and it's amazing. So all I have to do is the top half, and if the wedding goes ahead in September, like I'll definitely have it done by September. But if it's postponed, we're going to postpone until September 2021, just in case. So then I might think about doing a skirt. So I'm like, oh, that's a nice reason to have to postpone a wedding. It's like, oh, well, apart from that, I could also maybe take much time to do that. There's so many really cool stories about people who've knit their own wedding dress or crocheted their own wedding dress, and it's just something that I really wanted to try. Even just a part of it. My mum is not convinced, but she's not getting married. I am. She's helping me knit the skirt. She's helping me not knit the skirt, sew the skirt though. And I've told her I want pockets, and she's like, no, you don't need pockets. And I'm like, hey, whose wedding dress is it again? Oh, it's mine. I didn't say it like that. Of course, I was terrified to say it like that. So I've let her think, oh, I just really like pockets. She's like, no, it doesn't suit. No, it would be awful. No, it'd be awful if you had pockets. Awful. And then the other day she came around, she was like, do you know, I think I'll try and put in a pocket. So you just have to learn how to, a little bit of subtlety. I should have pockets, right? Thanks, Renee. Don't worry, I'll get around to my thinking. We've got plenty of time, and maybe way more time than I thought. So, so that is my little wedding project, which I'm loving. It's the complicated one that my brain needs for focusing. And I must remember to put in all of my, oh my gosh. So I have a couple of notions pouches now. I put out a call and I bought a few more small ones, but I still only have 2, which I generally go to all the time. So this is one that my friend made me. It's a cottage number 9. It's a winter sweater bag one that she also got me a big winter sweater in the same fabric. Really cute. Yeah, I just have all my bits in there. It's a nice bright color. You can find it in a bag, And then there's this beautiful thing, which I got when I went to Barcelona. God, I hope I can fly to Barcelona next November, because it's one of my favorite shows of all time. So this is a sandbag. Sandbags is the name of her company, and she has these lovely little kind of needle holders. So I have like all of my chow-goos in here, and it's just such a neat little pouch. You see, I do like that that the One Notions pouch thing, because that's what I was with a long time. But then, because it's nice, you can move it from bag to bag and you always know what's in it. Whereas like if you don't, yeah, like it can be a little bit, if you don't know what you have in it, if you don't have enough stuff to put into loads of different Notions pouches. Like that was me before. I was like, I don't need 50,000 scissors, I need 1 scissors. And now somehow I've ended up with 50,000 scissors because I work in hospitals. That's not a problem anymore. And also, somehow I've managed to collect 1 million stitch markers. So evidence of my 1 million stitch markers. There's 1 million in there. It's too long to count it. Couldn't be doing that yet. So yeah, but I really like this little bag. I love these little bags. So I've got all of my my little cables and connectors and all that. I also have a tiny scissors in here, which I can't remember where I got that. I think it was in Canada somewhere. It might have been Bad Anna's, or maybe Wet Coast Wools, maybe. So cute. Yeah, so that is, I love having that because it's nice to be able to adjust your sizes if you're moving around, if you're switching on the go. So it's really light as well. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's my wedding project. I love it. I love it. So the next thing that I am knitting on, and this is keeping me completely sane, which is wonderful. Oh, I haven't done my dyeing method with the yarn yet, so that's a swatch from my wedding dress. I haven't done I haven't dyed or kind of bleached it, tried to bleach it yet, because it's a little bit cream and I'd like ivory. But yeah, don't know what to do about that. I haven't, because someone was like, don't do it. But then someone else was like, it's fine, you'll be fine, everything's fine. And it's like, is this the steeking argument again? People are just terrified of steeking, or is it something that you can, I know it looks fancy, doesn't it? But it's really like lace, once you get the hang of it, it's not that scary. I promise. I could be like a little, if I added a little bit of elastic, I could wear it as a little headband. Wouldn't that be cute? Okay, enough of that. So next project is in my cottage number 9 bag, which I am obsessed with. My cottage number 9, and this is her wraparound bag, which I love. I love these as kind of pull ties. Oh no, now I can't open it. Oh, there I go. Once you've done it a couple of times, it loosens out. So I'm using this yarn called NYX Outlaw yarn. It is it backwards for you guys, or is this forwards? When it's live, I never know. So this is Outlaw yarn in the NYX space. I think this might be discontinued. This is a really accurate color. If it comes any closer, it turns kind of gray. So back here, it's kind of this petrol-y blue. Oh, it's lovely. It's forwards. Oh, good. Great. I'm glad. So this is the Prosperine colorway, which is absolutely gorgeous. So it's NYX Yarns Outlaw yarn. And I bought about, how many did I buy? I bought 8 of these, and they're 100 grams, 70% pullwear, 30% silk, 100 grams. And it's DK weight. So it's DK weight. And it's really pretty. I just love it. So I was kind of in a bit of a down mood at the start of all of this, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to use some of the beautiful yarn that I've been hoarding forever and ever and ever. It's a beautiful color, you're right, Renee. So I cast on a project which I've been promising to cast on for a long time, and I went and I did it. So this is my, oh my god, I am flying on this. This is my Winterfell cardigan. You may have noticed there's no gap up the front for it to open. Oh, look, it's like it's on me already. Oh, do you know what? If I made it cropped, which I won't, but I'm almost done if I made it cropped. So this is my Winterfell cardigan. It is a pattern by a person whose pattern I have right here, Katrin Schneider. So she is Katrin Schneider, and I think her Instagram name is Abro, I can't say it. Abro Katrin something. Anyway, Katrin Schneider is her name. And it is beautiful. It was designed with Le Bien-Aimé sport weight in mind, but yes, yeah, this will be going up live afterwards. Yeah, steeking everything. Steek everything. Life's too short to purl things, for my opinion anyway. So I have joined it in the round. I added on three extra stitches onto the overall number of the wool, the numbers in the wool, you know, pattern. And I just joined it in the round. So I'm going to cut up the center. Now, I'm having issues lining up these bad boys, and I think it's probably just because I'm bad at knitting patterns, knitting in general, maybe. So I'm just finding it hard to get these lines to match up. Like down here, I've had to like skip a few stitches to add up to, I've now got 2 stitches on either side. So now that's going to work, but it took me a while to fiddle around, and I'm like, am I just, and then I realized that I was actually casting on, I was creating the pattern from the side a bit earlier than I should have been. And I'm like, have I been doing that on one side more than the other. Anyway, it's working out. I'm fiddling around with things a little bit. I'm blaming the fact that I'm knitting in the round, so like it might get a bit confusing. I might want to do the pattern on the plain row. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't care. You tried to purl it and it didn't work out. Yeah, like, no, not having it. You love to purl. It'd be great if like we could do a project together and I could do all the knit rows and then we just hand over. Like we'd have to have 2 projects going and we'd have to knit at exactly the same time. And we could just swap at the bits that we wanted. So, Caroline, isn't this a live chat video right now? Because I can see you chatting. So this is my Winterfell. So I think I need to go another inch or so and then I need to start increasing because it's kind of got an A line, which I'm kind of loving the idea of. So I only remembered that when I was knitting because I kind of go on and on and on and on and on, and then I kind of like forget what the pattern is and I'm just like I just go and I don't think about the pattern anymore. I'm just like, surely it's just straight down. No. Because what I'm finding is when I've got a cardigan or a jumper on the pattern, if I go, so generally waist shaping, I mean, it's grand, but I don't really see the need for it. Not anymore. Like I'm just like, no, it's fine. Just straight down is easier to knit and it's nicer shape on me, I think. And then but I always forget that down the bottom I go out a bit because of my hips, and I should go for an A-line shaping on the knitting, right? So I'm going to try and do a little bit of A-line at the right level. Sometimes I'll do a bit of waist shaping like way too late, or I'll do the waist shaping a little bit late. Like I'll increase for the bum a little bit late, and then when I block it, it just drops, and it's like there was like no point. It doesn't match where I was going to be, and yeah. So, oh, will I be doing more? I think so. You're knitting. It's actually quick, I know. So hopefully now with this A-line waist shaping that this will work out really well. To be honest, I love the yarn so much. I love the pattern, the design, these kind of chevron shapes so much. So I'm enjoying that. I'm going to attempt to do full length sleeves on this. Another thing I cannot do is full length sleeves. What's wrong with me? I cannot do it. So I just get so bored of Sleeve Island. I'm like, guys, I've seen everything there is to see on this island. I want to go home. I want to go somewhere new. I want to go to that island over there with that pattern. That looks real nice. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to one stage where I was literally, I had three jumpers and I had to do sleeves on all of them, and I was like, what is wrong with me? So that's when you get 3/4 length sleeves, City. Yeah, even knitting 2 at a time. I just feel like it goes so slowly. I don't know. I knit all my sleeves 2 at a time. I'm just an impatient knitter. Impatient knitter alert. Here she is. Me. Hello. That's nice to meet you. So yeah, it does look a bit tealy blue on Instagram. On this, it looks a bit kind of navy, but it is more teal. Oh, I don't know. It's not, I think the sunshine, maybe, I don't know. It is more like, more like this type of color. Does that make sense? It's a little bit more greeny, than you'd see, but it's kind of like this deep petrol. It's kind of hard to photograph. Yes, if someone could just knit me sleeves, someone could make a lot of money out of that. You know those sock tubes, but sleeves? Yes. Someone, please do it. Not me, please. Don't make it. Hello. Do you know what I saw recently on Instagram? Just someone's commented there from Switzerland. Oh wait, am I going to be wrong here? Anyway, I might be wrong. You please correct me if you're from Switzerland. Is the Matterhorn in Switzerland? Because if there is, they are they're projecting on like flags of countries onto the Matterhorn, and it is real pretty. You love sleeve knit. Bex, hello. Why do you keep telling me these things? I'm going to give you lots of jobs. So, yes. Of Yates House. Oh yeah, that was good. That was a really fun day actually. Oh, I miss being able to go to events. You know, when this is all over, I'm going to take you all around Ireland again, and we won't just be stuck between my house and my work. So that is the really kind of quite easy pattern to do. It's really nice because you've got this like little bit of it's not very complex. You're just following your previous knitting. So you've got this kind of a little bit of complex pattern going down the front, but then you've got plain sleeves and plain back. So it actually does whip around really fast. And it's also in, oh, you're not in Switzerland, but the Matterhorn is in Switzerland. Thank you very much. But the pattern is DK weight. I'm knitting it on 4 millimeter needles. And what I've done is I've dropped down a size to compensate for the sport weight versus DK weight situation. I'm also trying it on as I go, and as it's a cardigan, I'm not too worried if it's like too big. If it's only one size or two sizes too big for me, it'll still be lovely and cozy on like a winter's day next winter when I'm going in and out of work, or you know, over clothes and things like that. Oh, speaking of over clothes, I'm wearing my fabulous, my gorgeous, excuse me, my slow wardrobe dungarees. And it's got pockets everywhere. There's a pocket here, there's a pocket there, there's a pocket there. And I love them. I love them. I love them. Look at this flat bottom situation. It's true. There's a lot of space for extra bottom in there. Extra bottom space. I just don't have any. No bottom. I don't know how I sit down. I'm getting bed sores. Oh well, be grand. So I'm wearing the size 1, and I think these are, I don't think these are the long. Maybe they are. I can't remember. Maybe, but they are size 1, so they're huge. So I'm a 40-inch chest, size 1. You can adjust everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's really nice. I like them. I like them a lot. Oh, they are so comfy, Renee. Overalls. What did I call them? Yeah, I call them overalls. Or what did I call them a second ago? Dungarees. Yeah, dungarees. Dungarees, overalls, called the same thing, right? I don't know. Yeah, so. Oh, is this the one that everyone gets like mad at because it's also called a jumper if it's got a skirt and not trousers, right? In the States. I think that's the one everyone's like, oh my god, you say jumper, it's so funny, because actually there it is not the other. You're like, I know. I know. I'm still gonna call it a jumper. Anyway. So yeah, dungarees, overalls. Overalls, I would consider, I wouldn't call these overalls. I would call overalls ones with arms as well. So it's like a boiler suit type of thing. So you've got arms and you step into it and it buttons up the front. It's like, you know, like a baby grow for adults. That's what I call overalls, because my dad used to wear them all the time, because he works outside and he was a welder and messy outside diggy work. So yeah, he used to wear overalls. Yeah, overalls to me would have arms. These are dungarees. Jumpsuits. All I can think of is like fashionable jumps, like, you know, sexy jumpsuits. I wouldn't call my dad's a jumpsuit. I don't know. No, please no. Coveralls. That's all the same, right? Whatever. So They are, oh, do you know what I wanted to show you? And I actually did this because I cleaned out my craft room and I forgot this. A bodysuit. Come on, lads. It doesn't, there's so many different words for it. What? That's gas. So, does anyone remember this bad boy that I was knitting before I got tendonitis? And I think might be the cause of my tendonitis. Oh, that's just a hair tie. But I got an injection into my, oh God, that looks really bad. Okay. It's fine. I'm not sore at all now. My hand is like almost completely better. But I did get a steroid injection in there and it has resulted in soft tissue kind of just not withering away, which is gross. But it will come back in a couple of months. But the steroid, if it doesn't go straight into the area, if it goes like around the area and hits the area, then there's a risk of the soft tissue kind of being a little bit thinned out around the veins, so it looks kind of really obvious. It's fine. It looks really bad on camera, but I do really want to start knitting this again. But if I go slowly, it'll be okay. So they're on 9-inch needles, which I think was the cause of it. I mean, I also was working really hard and it was a really busy night and I was lifting heavy cassettes, and the heavy cassettes like make your hand go like do that motion, which is part of the de Quervain's tendonitis issue. So I'm blaming work, but I'm also blaming this. But shush, don't tell work. It was definitely work and not these needles, right? You me know the truth, that it was definitely those needles. So what I might do is just switch over to the big ones, Magic Loop. I'm going to switch over to Magic Loop and finish off this sock because it's so cute. This yarn is beautiful. It's called Dragon Hill Studio yarn. This is the Sherborne sock. I think they're based in the UK probably. dragonhillstudio.co.uk. Yeah, that's their little brand and it is so cute. It comes pre-wound and I bought them in This Is Knit in Dublin, who are still shipping out once a week, by the way. Hint, hint. It's beautiful. They have gorgeous colorways and they're lovely. DPNs, I don't have enough DPNs. I don't really, it's like knitting with a hedgehog. So I'll go back to my Magic Loop. Why? My brain just went mad. Yeah. I know. I think I just wanted to have a go. Like socks go so quickly with the 9-inch needles. You know, you never have to stop. But then I think because it goes so quickly, you tend to knit way too often. So the flips, yeah, they're the ones where you have. Are they the crazy trios? I know about those crazy trios, which are 3 of them, and they're like small little circular needles with a little flexible bit in the middle, so you're able to turn corners with it. But I don't know, they just look a bit complex. What are the colors? So this one is Jadiant. Oh, that's cute. It's a jade gradient. Isn't that lovely? Do you know what I really love about this yarn is it is such a perfect gradient. How do they do that on self-striping? Like it's an actual miracle. It's so pretty. And I was using a mini heel flap and so a mini heel flap and then a fish lips kiss heel, but garter stitch, which makes it extra bouncy and squishy. Just for a bit of extra protection on my heel. I find them really nice. They're really nice to wear. The striping is so pretty. It is gorgeous. Like the striping on these Dragon Hill Studio yarns are so, what's the word, sophisticated, you know. It has a beauty, and the colorways that they use are really nice. I of course got this one because I love these colors. I love these kind of blue greens. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh, I wonder, could I do this on it? I want to weave more on carbon aluminum. I've not done any weaving in a while and it's really bad. I brought in a load of my looms and I have, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, it's all going to pop off the needles. Is everyone ready for a panic attack? Panic attack. No. Okay. All right. Look at it. That's pretty. Isn't it pretty? Oh my goodness, I love it. So I cast on, I think it was a 60 stitches, because with the 9-inch needles, I do tend to knit a little bit. My gauge is a little looser as well. So these are kind of big socks. Normally I'm like a 64 stitch, but I dropped the 4 stitches and I just did 60 stitches. It's so pretty. And as well, the thing about the 9-inch needle, that I don't like is you can only knit one at a time, and I'm a 2 at a time kind of girl. You know what I mean? Where's he gone? There's a boy outside looking for a kitten, I bet. He's just a boy looking for a kitten. So, yes. Yes. So I love these and I do want to finish them because I'm in a mood for socks. I was also thinking about starting to knit the Flores socks by Hohi, just because I bought them the other day just to kind of support her, because the community that she supports from the sales of that sock pattern, it's a lovely kind of feather and fan sock pattern. I kind of want to do, yeah, me too, Bex. So I kind of want to do a bit more patterning on socks because I love hand knit socks. I just haven't been knitting them. Possibly just, I want to knit sweaters. You know, it's been the year of the sweater, but now I'm like, oh, I want to go back to some socks. I need some new socks. So, yeah, I think I'm going to knit the Flores socks. She only has them as ankle socks, but I think I might extend it up the leg a little bit because I always find that ankle socks, I'm just cold. My little ankles get a bit cold. But yeah, so she designed these socks for this kind of, I think it's women's refuge maybe. I'm not sure exactly what you would class it as, but it's this community of women that she teaches how to knit, and they've been really struggling the last couple of obviously because there's been total lockdown in Argentina. So they've been really struggling with money, and the government in Argentina isn't one in particular that would be big on the old welfare, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so she put out a call for people to head over and buy the pattern. It's only €4, $4 or something. So if you do have 4 knitters, $4 to spend, and you get a beautiful sock pattern. Do you know, it's nice. It's a nice thing to have. You always do ankle socks. So Dee Gus has said she always does ankle socks because she gets lazy after the heel. So I always start on the top, on the heel down. I never start toe up. Well, I do. I've done it like once or twice, but yeah. So that's it. So what we need to do is have a little look now at the other things I've been doing. So I pulled off some of this handspun romany. It was a three ply because I was planning on spinning a whole other bobbin of the romany, which I was hand spinning in the grease. But I got bored, so I didn't do it. So then I just did a 3-ply instead. And this is going to be crocheted up into a tiny little tuft sheep for Project Baba. And has that been eaten by a cat? No, it's lice. So this is a beautiful silver romany fleece, and it was brown when I spun it, and now it is silver. The water that when I washed the yarn was disgusting. But it's clean now, and I got lots of vitamin D by spinning it, which is what we need right now, right? Let's not think about it. It was all just poop and pee in this, and now it's gone. Ha! It doesn't even have a sheepy smell anymore. It's amazing. So yeah, that's a 3-ply there now. So I don't know what, I do know what, I'm going to crochet that sheep. I need to actually crochet that sheep. Your handspun is really coiled even after fulling. Is it single ply? You know, a little bit of weighing it down, but they do say that even if it is weighed, if it's single ply and it's kind of still curling, that's what's happening in my pattern. And that's what's happening with this, like it still coils quite badly, but I've, after blocking it, it lays flat and it calms down in there. You know, it's always, it's going to be hands, like, my opinion is it's hand spun, it's not commercial yarn, so it will probably coil a little bit. So this is my pretty I love it. I must actually do something with it. I have so much handspun up there on the wall behind you, and I haven't touched it, and I really want to. I might weave up a few tapestries with them. I've been saying that for months. I haven't done it. I'll show you when I do it, and then we'll have a chat. So, okay, now time to get on to a little bit of a little bit of, so actually I have some questions that people ask me on Instagram, and one of them is relevant to spinning. So it's Shabakan, is her Instagram name, their Instagram name. So she is trying to chain ply on an e-spinner. Any tips? So with e-spinning, I find that you don't have as much control over the speed as with a normal spinning wheel, because your feet control the speed, so you can reduce it as much as you want. So if you get stuck, you can just stop spinning with your fingers. But with an e-spinner, you have to reach forward and press the button or click the pedal, so it just stops. I find it is quite hard to control. So if you're doing something like chain ply, which is effectively kind of like, do you know the way you crochet a chain to start your crochet? You're doing that with the yarn, except instead of like small loops and then small loops and small loops and small loops, you're doing big long loop, plying those three together. You still have a little loop there. You pull the third thread through that long loop, and then you let the thread come up and you bring it and you feed it in. So I suppose the only thing that I would recommend is to go slowly at the start, to go drop it right down slow, to give yourself some time to make sure you've got enough twist in the 3-ply. Your 3-ply probably will be higher twisted than a lot more people. So, you know, that one can be a little bit tricky until you get the hang of it, but do slow it down so you have more time to kind of sort out your hands when you're kind of grabbing the loop through and pulling it through. Try and get into a regular rhythm of it. Maybe try spinning to some music or something, just to have that sort of kind of rhythm of bringing it back to the same distance every time, just bringing it up, moving it in, putting it back, letting the twist move up, feeding it in, you know. And if it's always going back to your shoulder, then you have a consistent kind of distance between you and the spinning wheel, and it just allows you to get into a bit of a rhythm. And practice is your bag, but with the e-spinner it is more tricky. I have done it and it is fine, but just take your time and go slowly. I think it is easier to do chain ply with a regular wheel, but once you get the hang of anything, it's easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you do have a little bit more control over speed with the regular wheel, and you can slow down if you get stuck. Just make sure you have your stop, your dead man switch or whatever beside you, so you can click it if you get stuck or if anything happens. Yeah, I love 3-ply. It's so nice. Yeah, so I've got, someone was asking if I would do clasped weft. How about doing some clasped weft weaving? I've just finished my first. Do you know what? I'd love to do some of that. That would look so nice. Why does cotton yarn twist when knitting? I don't know. I've not knit with much cotton, actually. It might be, and it doesn't happen with cotton for you, Caroline? Or it doesn't happen with wool. It may be the way it's spun. Maybe it's spun anti-clockwise instead of clockwise or something. I don't know. I don't know that answer to that. You have a beautiful shacked sidekick. Oh my god, I'm so jealous. Oh my god. I love those spinning wheels. Woolmaker's Bliss, yes. Woolmaker's Bliss is fabulous for beginners. It's yeah. Get the best wheel you can afford. Yes. I agree with that. Yeah. Oh, hey Bex, how are you? In your gorgeous new workspace. I love seeing how you've renovated your workspace. The Ashfords, yes, I do really like the Ashfords. I love them. You can get parts really easily. They're a really international company. You know, their stuff is good quality. They've got good support and good groups. I love them. I love them. That's why I like them, because to be honest, if all the other bits that you're getting with them are expensive or difficult to get hold of, like Shacked, I don't know, I there's no Shacked supplier in Ireland, so it'll be difficult and expensive to get stuff shipped in. Now there's an Ashford supplier in This Is Knit, so it's really easy for me to get Ashford supplies. Do you know what I mean? Because you'll want, once you start spinning, you're like, oh, maybe I want a jumbo spinner, or maybe I need a few more bobbins, or maybe I need this, or maybe I need that. And you know, it's difficult to switch brand. I mean, it's grand. You can always buy a new spinning wheel. I mean, I know a lot of people with that problem and things like that. So you do need to factor in the cost of things like extra bobbins, like Beck says. Oh, and the necklace. Yes, I will get to that. Don't worry. So we talk about the necklace now. I suppose actually it's still kind of knitting related. So this is a necklace that I contacted Marna of on Quilting Biog. She is a silversmith, and she makes a lot of beautiful knitting jewelry. And I remember she had a necklace like this, a little bit more elaborate, very beautiful, but this one has a little clasp to pop your stitch markers on. Super cute. What I was looking for was somewhere to put my rings when I am washing my hands a lot more, obviously, these days. So it's when I'm in work, I'll basically put my rings on this, and it's really secure because of the way that the clasp is made. So I contacted her and I asked her, oh, would you be able to make me something like this? Because I really wanted to support local people, and I'm still getting paid, but I have to go to work and all this jazz. So it makes me feel better to be able to support local, to be able to support people I know. She's not local, like she's based in the UK, but I know her really well, like she's a friend. And we do trade kitten pictures all the time. So yeah, so I contacted her and I asked her about that. It's really pretty and it is very functional, and it's a lovely design, and it feels really nice. And also it's long enough to tuck into my scrubs as well, my scrub tops, and inside all the PPE. And yeah, I just know that it's there. I know that my rings are safe, and I love them. I saw a couple of other ones which were kind of like fishbone designs and things like that, but you had to take off the necklace to put the ring on it, and I was like, I don't want that. I want something to literally, like, when I get out of work, I can take it off this. I mean, it is a bit tricky to take off, but I prefer that. I don't want it to be super easy for it to come off. Like, I want it to be a bit hard, because obviously you don't want it to accidentally come off. Yeah, so it's off there like that. So it does a little, yeah, I will link to the shop, but it's literally on Quilting. Do you know what? I'm gonna say it like the way it's supposed to be pronounced, in Munster Irish anyway, and no one will know. So this is the if you want to write it down, I will link it as well, but quiltingbiog.com. So quilting means cat. Actually, quite means cat. So this means the very tiny cat. Because it means because quilting on its own means small cat or kitten, and then biog, or yeah, I suppose it means small kitten. Biog is small then in Irish. So that's biog, and this is little kitten. So smallkitten.com. quiltingbiog.com. And then she said, happy knitting, and she gave me a little pen, because what I bought as well was her new book. So I saw this like maybe 2 days after I had the conversation with her, and I was like, hey, she's posting me over something anyway. Why not buy a book which is full of cats? So you're girl had to do it. You girl had to do it. So she bought this, she made this beautiful book and it's full of kittens. 16 possum knitting patterns. Possum. So it's separated out into fat cats, dainty cats, big cats, cool cats. And so the fat cats are kind of, I think it's Aran weight or DK weight. Her completely unscientific survey says that there are many cat-loving knitters and quite a few knitting and yarn-loving cats. I mean, it's facts. It's non-science. It has to make sense. Yeah, so fat cats. So these ones are kind of really big chunky patterns and designs, and they're so cute. So this is the fat cat sweater. So she's used like a pearl design here to do the outlines of the kitchens. The kitchens. And it's super pretty. Look at him. That one would be really, really nice to do. So let me just check the gauge. Yarms. So it was Pendle Chunky. So it was 100 meters per 100 grams. So it's, yeah, chunky yarn. And she used all Eden Cottage yarns into that. I'll see you later. And then she has a beautiful shawl with all the kittens on the side and the edges. And then she has a little chunky kitten cat hat and a cowl. So she's lots of like small projects dealing with all different kind of sizes and shapes of yarn. Now this one is for, I'd say 4-ply. Hang on. Yeah, 4-ply. So a fingering weight to other people. So the dainty cats have a little bit of lace. So beautiful little color work section there and a little bit of lace like paw prints. Isn't that just beautiful? I love that. And she's done a really lovely cowl with using the same types of patterns. Oh, it's so elegant. So cute. And yes, so adorable. So yeah, and then she's done a lovely shawl, little lace shawl there as well. I love it. It's so cute. Toe beans and what does she call it? Toe beans and tails. So cute. And then she starts going into, where is it? Perfect cat cuffs. So these are lovely little lace cuffs. Oh my God, they're so cute. Now the next one are big cats. Big cats. Big cats. Large cats. So this is a lot to do with Intarsia. And she, oh, look at this. So cute. I love the large, she's got a really nice cardigan. Yes, the big cat cardigan. Look at the little, look at the kittens, the kitten pockets and the kittens on the sleeves. I love that deep V. It's really nice. I say that's DK weight. And then you've also got Intarsia hat. That'd be a nice project actually to learn how to do Intarsia. I think I might think about that. And then you've got your cool cats, bold contemporary knits with striped rows of cats glowering out at the world. Accurate. So you've got like a really big boat neck jumper, which looks really cool. Elegant. You've got a really nice kind of colour work cowl. So these are more colour worky type based. So I suppose it's also, as well as being, you know, so at the start it was like just pearls and knits, and then there was a bit of lace and a small bit of colour work. Then there was mostly Intarsia and then colour work at the end. So she's got 4 projects for each pattern design. Oh, look at these. They're little ghosty cats. Hello, ghosty cats for Halloween. I remember when she brought that pattern out. It was so cute. Oh, and little mittens. Little ghosty mittens. Mittens. Yeah, so, and then she has the whole back part is all about how, how you go through these techniques and things like that, which I very much appreciate. How do you manage long floats and things like that? So, yeah. Oh, she's got steeking in there as well. Look. Marna, I'm just going to use this book now to explain steeking to everybody. So, except I need to read it first to figure out what's going on. Yes. So, yeah, I really love this book. I love it. In the UK, it costs $16.99, and in the US, it's $24.99, so about $25. And I got a sticker, and I got 2 postcards, which I really want to send to people, but I don't have any stamps, and I don't know where to buy them, and I don't really want to go to the post office without really needing to, so I'll leave it for a while. Now, oh, look at this, he's yawning. He's yawning. I need to know who the cat is, Marna, if you ever watch my podcasts. Who's the cat? I didn't see any description of who the cat was. So, 1, okay, this is a 9 out of 10 because you didn't give me the name and the location of this cat, and also you didn't give me a cat with the book. So that's a 9 out of 10 for this book. I hate to be so hard and harsh, but these are the facts. So, yeah, in addition to this beautiful jewelry, she's also a pattern designer. So there should be model credit somewhere. I know, I looked. Maybe not very hard, but Fuji Knitting did a very good flow video, yes. Oh, excuse me, the book is available at Target? What? That sounds amazing. Oh, who published it then? Because that's a great job. David and Charles. This is the book. If you like it, then you ought to knit a cat on it. I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do, to be honest. So, those are all the knitting chats. Now I want to talk about the sewing chats. So, I don't know if, I actually can't remember if I showed you these, but I'm kind of getting really interested in, my local shop won't sell stamps to me, Bex. Sad. So I made these little quilts out of small little patterns of pre-cut squares. Yay! So I made 3 of these, and they're kind of Christmassy themed. This one has chickens on it. Chickens! It's so cute. Renee, you're so handy with the old links there now. Very handy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So these are really cute, actually. Will you hold on for 2 seconds while I get the name of the... I still have the thing, I think. Miss Toast has come in, and therefore we can all calm down and panic that she's not going to be out all night. So I made it out of these little folk art holidays, Gina Martin for Moda. And I bought 2 of these little sets. They had 42 squares, 100% cotton, 44 by 45 inch wide, and they're made in Japan. Hello, Miss Toast. Would you like to say hello? Look at her big fluffy belly. Look at these legs. Look at them drumsticks. Oh, she's struggling. I wish she flooped like Beans, but she's just her own independent woman. Independent woman. Look at those toe beans. Oh, yeah. Is this abuse? Maybe. She's fine. She's so cute, but does not like being held. Oh, but she does love getting in underneath the bed and hiding. Hello, Toast. Oh, somebody sent you a sliced pan. Do you remember that? You used to like eating it. Beans. Where is Beans? Go find Beans for Shirley. No? She's so bad at following I think toast has more attitude now than beans. Beans is kind of a bit of a floop, like, oh. But toast is just has a constant crazy stare. Ah! I love her, but she's nuts. So anyway, so I made these little 3 cushion covers, I guess. So they're a little bit small still, and I only did buy 2 of these. So I kind of underestimated how small they would be. Not really, I kind of knew they'd be small, but what I want to do is make them a little bit bigger so they can be like actual pillows that you can like put your head on and fall asleep on the couch, you know? That's all the pillows are good for, right? So I think I'll need to get like a big border around the edge and then backing fabric. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I have been I don't have any elastic, and I'm missing like fabric that I want to use, you know. Are you just hanging around? Oh, she's I just saw the tail. I was like, where is she? So I rang my kind of local shop, which is quite a small shop now, and it's not really kind of online, you know what I mean? It's very kind of very small, kind of. The person who runs it, Rebecca Palmer Originals is the story. What, are you going into my bookshelf? Excuse me, miss. You need to back off. You need to respect my space. So Rebecca Palmer Originals, she's based out in Cappamore in Limerick, and she is mostly on Facebook. And basically I rang her up and I was like, listen, I need this, 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 and this. And she was like, oh, great. So I did an online order with her, and she's about to ship it out. And I'm just, do you know, it's hard to support people who don't have like a snazzy website, who haven't spent a lot of money or spent a lot of time, or, you know, just have that capability of designing a website, even if it's like through Spotify or Etsy or things like that. If things just don't work, you know, if that's not where your skill set is, if something like amazing, beautiful, artistic quilting is, and you don't know how to share it with the world, you know, maybe, you know, if you have a little shop like this around you, which is more like a community center, because that's what she does. She does a lot of classes and things like that, but maybe she doesn't have a very good online presence, or they don't have an online presence. Just pick up the phone and give them a ring and see if you could support them some way by purchasing something from that. Yeah, those are, without online sales, like it's very difficult, you know, and it's hard then to like trust what's going on. But I trust Rebecca with my life, to be honest, because she's really good at picking out things. So I bought these ages ago. So I think I do have some fabric which I will use as a backing fabric, but I was just really pretty to have made them, to have quilted them. And I learned how to quilt from a class from her, and it was really nice to go to a class in person. You don't, it's funny how much you, oh, do not go into the bags. Why are you like this? Can you hear that? Can you hear her? It's falling over, Toast. Oh, it's the looms. It's her little cat palaces. They're all in. Okay, I've got to turn this around. It's too funny. Okay, now, guess where she is. Guess. Yes, she's in the Lidl bag. Now she's talking. Oh, there's her little face. Hello, Toast. Hello. Who are you at? Hello. Hello, little miss. What's going on in there? Is that a project that I've forgotten that I didn't want to show on the podcast because I haven't touched it in 3 years? Yes, thank you for showing everybody. You're so kind. She's so cute. So yes, so I made loads of these, and then I was making masks as well, and I have a couple of these ones which I made. These are probably my most satisfying ones. These are my most recent ones now, and they are, after much trial and error, I've decided to interface one side with fusible iron-on interfacing, non-woven, and that allows a little bit extra. Now, will probably end up getting into an argument about if they're efficient or if they're good enough or if they're this or if they're that. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't care. If they're comfortable enough that they stop you touching your face and it covers your face if you are sick and you don't know it, then that can only be good. Why are you like this, Toast? She's down there scrabbling around at the paper underneath there. I'm very sorry. So I'm not going to put it on my face, but this is a very simple, very effective and efficient design that fits a lot of people. And this is the same type of design that we use for the hospital masks inside in the hospital. It's a 3-pleat design. So you've got, normally it's in a, oh yes, people crocheting and knitting masks. Don't do it. Does not work. There is no point unless you've got like 3 different layers of fabric within the layer of knitted fabric. It's just not gonna work. It doesn't work. Even through your tightest hole of your tightest knitted fabric, over a thousand particles of the coronavirus can get through one of those holes. It's just not gonna work. So normally the patterns go from 9 inches tall to 3 inches wide or 6 inches wide. So if you kind of go with that sort of, 2 to 3 ratio, you can generally make a nice little face mask. I've used t-shirt ties because I don't have any elastic and I don't have any bias binding. I have bought some, so I am going to be using them, but I'm not going to put it on now because these are going to go to a friend of mine who works at the desk of a GP, or I think they don't really see that many people very often. It's all a lot of phone consultations now, so they can wear one per patient and then just put it in a bag to be washed. So yeah, so it's 3 layers of fabric, including the fusible interfacing. The hair ties, some people have been using hair ties for the edges. The problem is when you wash something at 60 degrees, rubber in a hair tie won't last, and you need like proper washable elastic. The hair ties, they will, what's it called, perish. The rubber will perish and it'll just snap. So I mean, it's grand for 1 or 2 uses, but if you're washing, and you shouldn't be using them for more than 1 use at a time, you should be washing them straight after. So they do need to be strong and sturdy enough to be washed very often at a high heat. And then ironing them actually after you've washed them is also very, very good. I think some people have said that ironing is essential after you've washed them to just make sure you've killed all the bugs. So yeah, I've made a couple of really cute ones. Now I also have made a different type and I have left it in my bag outside. I will link a pattern, but if you look for sewn face masks, there's 2 different designs, and I'll show you the other designs now in a second, but you can literally just search for it online, Google it online, and a lot of them will come up. Just don't do knitted or crochet ones. I guess a knitted or crochet one is better than nothing, but you can hand sew these as well. They're not that tricky. So these are the other designs, and I made these for a friend of mine in work. So these are the other shapes. So this is a pattern that I think was on craftpassion.com, and it was a face mask. So you cut out this shape and you cut out 4 of them. So 1, 2, and then the inside 3 and 4. Now this one has been fused. So yeah, you can do no-sew using t-shirts as well. I've seen those. Those are really good actually. And some of them cover your hair actually, those ones. Very smart. So what have you been saying about me? Stop it. Bex, causing trouble. Yeah, so these are really cute, and what I did was basically I just folded back the edges and I attached the ties like that, and it works really well. And then this pattern actually has lots of different sizes. So for kids, oh my god, these ones are so small and cute. Look at this, so small and cute. I think putting interfacing on them is a good idea. It gives you an extra layer of protection, and if you don't want, because when you're sewing with 3 layers of cotton, it's very heavy, and it can be hard to breathe through. Whereas the fusible, the the non-woven interfacing gives an extra layer. It stiffens it up, makes it fit the face a little bit better, but also it's not as thick as another layer of cotton, so it's easier to breathe through. So it's kind of a bit of a compromise. And look at these tiny ones. It's so small. So this one, oh hang on. This one I'd say, oh hang on. Are they all the same size? Yeah, they're the same size. Okay, so these ones are for ages I think like 2 to 5, and then this one is from like 5 to 12 maybe. And then you can use this size, which I showed you. This was like a woman's, but it's like a teenager type of mask. And then it has a big size for an adult person with a large face, big face. So yeah, so this one is going to my friend in work. She requested them because she had to come into hospital with her little kid just for something that wasn't coronavirus related. But all the masks were just like way too big for the kids, you know, the masks that they were given. So I was like, do you know what? If you have to bring the kids out, you might as well give them something they can wear that fits them. And then if it's comfortable, they won't be at it all the time. So if it fits you properly, you know. And I made some of these for my mum and dad as well, and I gave it to them, and they really liked them. They said it really fit well and it was comfortable, and you're not going to be touching it. Any suggestions for protection of the back of ears for healthcare workers who must wear masks? Now, that is a place where crochet or knitting can come in really useful, because I've seen some people make like a little crochet tab of about, oh, I don't know, 3 inches maybe, and then put 2 buttons on either end. And then what you do is you can actually put them, so you can attach the mask to the 2 little buttons instead of your ears. That's what I've been doing. A lot of them come with like pre-cut little corner tabs, which like it's basically a tab about this long, about as long as your finger, with a little hook or something for the mask to hold on to either end. So either notches into it or little buttons, and they're fabulous. That's something you can definitely crochet or knit or whatever you want. But yeah, yes. So I would say felted masks would be good, but way too hard to breathe through. You couldn't breathe through it. Like, you need to be able to breathe and function, you know. What did you say there, Pet? Yeah, it does need to be washed at a really high heat. So if you're knitting or crocheting something, can it be washed at 60 degrees? Like if it's plastic based, if it's polyester based, you know, you're breathing it in, it's very close to your face, so all those microplastics will be going into your lungs anyway. It's not really going to give you the protection of cotton, 100% cotton. And you know, once you wash it, you've got all this microplastics going in. And then you can't wash wool. If you're going to be knitting wool, you can't wash wool at higher than 60 degrees wash. Like, you just can't do it. Like, and you need to iron it afterwards as well. So just sew them. They need to be sewn. It doesn't work. Yeah, the ear ones are so annoying. So I definitely tie up my hair, and does he have a beard as well? Because men with beards, the masks are less than useless if they've got a sealed mask, like an FFP2 mask. If you've got a beard, you might as well be just pissing in the wind, to be honest, because the beard filters the air through around the sides. So once I have the hair up, then everything should be above, all the ties should be above the hair, and the mask should go around and attach up. But that's the only way that you can really do that with long hairs. Yeah. Oh, the band thing for the elastics? Oh yeah, it does have to be. It does have to be washed. He would rather quit than shave it. Oh, good luck. It'll grow back. I don't want to get it between a man and his beard, but I don't want you to die from coronavirus. So, and that's the tea. So after making all these masks, now with these masks, the rectangular ones, there's very little waste off them because I've been, they're just squares, they're rectangles, so there's no curves. But with those other ones, with the curves of the fitting, there's a lot of waste fabric. So I was like, what am I going to do with all this fabric? I hate waste. I hate it. And then I remembered Rebecca was saying something to me when I was, because my idea of quilting would be literally to use up all those scraps. And the two people that have inspired me, well, not two people, two styles maybe. There's a designer, this is quilting kind of printmaker on Instagram called Book Who. And she has a couple of beautiful lives where she talks about hands quilting, and her methods of quilting are absolutely beautiful. I really recommend you go and see and subscribe to her and follow her. They're beautiful. They're so beautiful. She talks about like patching and piece patching and things like that, and how she does it, and the way she films, and her photography is so pretty. It's good stuff. Feeds my soul. So I definitely recommend you follow her. So it's Book, Book, Who, Hou, Book Who, and it's fab. She's fab. So that was one thing I was thinking of, but also I had my machine out, so I was like, do you know what? I think I'll just machine it. I think I'm just gonna machine it. So I remember people talking about the log quilting, quilting, and I remember, what was that show on Netflix about the servant girl called Grace, this Irish servant girl called Grace, who like killed her owner or something. Oh, but she was in prison, and this guy who she was telling her story to was like coming to her every week or something. Alias Grace. Yes, that's it. Thank you. So, hey, Christine. So, Alias Grace. And in Alias Grace, she was making this log cabin quilt. So, this is in relation to a question that, oh no, I didn't write down who asked me. So, she asked me, who is my favorite sewing pattern designer? I don't know any. I've never sewed a pattern. I have sewed something from like Sarah from Get Weaving, so that's sewing like pieces from rigid headed looms, so it's like really specific sewing patterns, and I like them, but they could have been more advanced, I think. But so with Alias Gray, she was doing this log cabin out of scraps, which I love the idea of. I love it. And then I remember that when I was doing the class with Rebecca, and we were learning about quilting, and I wanted to do quilting, but I kind of didn't want to get like perfectly good fabric and just cut it up. I wanted to kind of like use it deliberately in scraps, so I would only ever buy pre-cut stuff, because cutting into perfect fabric kind of gave me a little bit of a heart attack. So I was like, someone else will do it. And it was an easy way to get started. So after I made up these, and after I had loads of fabric left over from making the masks. So I remember Rebecca also, I keep on coming back and forth, sorry now, but she mentioned something about this group of women in Southern America, in the Southern United States, who, excuse me, they were, I looked them up anyway, I just said quilting, Southern American states, blah, 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 and it came up the first thing. So it's Gee's Bend Quilt Makers. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Gee's Bend Quilt Makers in Alabama. And I found this little website, this article on them on Souls Grown Deep website, and they are amazing. So basically what happened was they can trace these bunch of women in this kind of poverty-stricken town in Alabama can trace their roots back as far as the slave owner days. So they were slaves from the Pettyman plantation. Petway plantation. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares about them? They're horrible people. Don't care. But essentially, it's a very poverty-stricken region, and they would be living in like huts with no water and no running, no running water, and very poor heating, and just incredibly awful conditions. So the women had to work really hard in order to, keep their family warm. So they would use old, used up clothing, work clothes, old denim, old bed sheets, things that had like split, and they would sew them into these quilts, basically using whatever they had. And they couldn't afford to like cut specific shapes out of it, you just had to use what you had. And I really like, to me, that's what quilt making, some of it is absolutely beautiful and artistic and wonderful, but I also love the idea of using up all your scraps, using everything you can, trying not to waste anything, really understanding how difficult it is to come across good fabric, and who knows where we're going, but we might be going back to the state where it's difficult to get stuff. Because if this has said anything about anything, it's globalization is actually has shown us massive links in our chains. So the quilt making, I wrote it down, a little article. So the quilt making seems to stem from around the 19th century, influenced in part by Native American textiles and African textiles, because of course these are the two groups of people that had joined together through no say of their own. And it's a fascinating, if you want to look them up, do look them up. Gee's Bend quilts. They are known for their, I feel like this is a white person who's written this about it, but they're known for their geometric simplicity and lively improvisations. And I was like, ooh. I don't know. It seems like the tradition has been really academic, like pushed into academia. Their quilts have been displayed all over America in loads of museums and things like that. And I'm like, but were they paid well? You really want to know who's been writing all this stuff about them, But what I really like about them is that they recycled old clothes and textiles. They used their ingenuity and creativity to make something beautiful and warm and useful for their family. And, these quilts now are going for a lot of money, and I would just love to know if that money's getting back to them. I mean, history has shown that doesn't really work. So that's good. I'm glad that, Annie, that you said you paid them very well. Good. But you just have to assume and hope that they are being paid very well. But anyway, so if you want to look them up, it's fabulous. It's so interesting and beautiful and lovely, and I love the idea behind it. So, you book direct from, yes, you can go directly there and buy directly from them. I'd love to do that, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get over. But they also do retreats. Oh yeah, they also do retreats, quilting retreats. So and you can go there and support them directly using that, which is fabulous. So I'd love to go and do one of these quilting retreats with them. Oh my gosh. So I had lots of this fabric left over, so I decided to kind of take a bit of a plunge and do a little bit of ingenuity with the kind of make it as you go sort of spirit. Make what you have. And now I had a load of little fat squares, fat quarters that I went and bought from the centre aisle. So there's no poverty in this house. But anyway, inspiration a little bit maybe. Just by using up all the scraps. So I made these two little blocks, and they're so cute. So like my lines aren't straight, everything's kind of off in a kilter. I wasn't deliberately trying to join up all the, I also did these little kind of perfect squares just to see if I could, I had a couple of these little bits which are cute, but I way prefer these. Like just using like selvage edges, and I love the back as well. I'd love to print that, like to do a collagraph print off of that. So nice. So this is kind of inspired by the Alias Grace, the log cabin method, which is where you start using just like one little square and then you add another square, and then you sew on something directly to the long length of that, and then you sew this one onto the long length of the last two, and then you turn it again, you sew that onto the long length, and on and on and on. You're constantly rotating it. Up here then, then there, then there, then this one, then this one, you know, and things aren't like matching. I mean, I love it. I actually love it. And then trying to like put stuff together so that it's not too similar. I mean, these flowers, if I had, and I just didn't have the right, like I didn't have like plain fabric. So I just put them two together. I was like, I just don't have it. So if I didn't have it, I wasn't going to cut into like a good piece of stuff to do it. So what I'm going to do is while I'm making these masks, while I'm still using it, because I have quite a lot of fabric from these fat quarters. So I'm going to make these little blocks as I go as well. And for the straight sections. And then with this, because there's a lot of curves with the other masks, other kind of things. Did it take a lot of time? That took me from about 11 o'clock today until maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So 4 hours to make these two. Really fast. You can use flat sheets for the back of quilts too. Do I own a flat sheet? No. I only own those easy to put on fitted sheets. What's wrong with me, Renee? Honestly. I must get a few actually. I'll go into Lidl and get those cheapy ones. It'd be grand. So how lucky are we to have Lidl? I don't know. Makes you think where all this stuff is coming from, you know. So because there's a lot of kind of curvy bits, I was able to get a lot of triangles out of it. So I think I'm just going to make a load of these small little things and I don't know, make mug rugs or something out of them maybe. Do you know, I don't want to leave things go. I don't want to leave all the scraps go. That's what I feel so bad about when I'm cutting fabric. At least with knitting, you can pull out the yarn again. You're using all of your yarn. You can knit to the end of your ball. You know, you can do loads. But like with fabric, or like I think it's from when I started weaving and making fabric, the idea of cutting off a bit of my fabric, allergic to the thought of it. Like I couldn't even comprehend it because it's so valuable to me. That fabric is so valuable, and it's actually to the point where it's so valuable I'm not using it, which is bad. I need to use it. It's like precious. But yeah, so this kind of progression of, okay, first learning how to knit, then learning how to spin, then learning how to weave, and now learning how to like quilt and sew and how to use even weaving. It does leave you with a significant amount of waste if you're not using tassels. Yeah, it does. Actually, what would be nice if I was to make a little bunch of little sewing pin cushions, and putting all the ends of the weaving into the pin cushions. Genius. Loom waste dries, yeah. I don't, I weave right to the end. Makes the square blocks and the log cabin squares for lap blanket. Oh, that'd be really cute. That would be cute. Yeah. So that is, what does it, have you tried wonky log cabin? You can use all different shapes then. Ooh, I must look up that. That sounds good. So those are all the things that I've been doing. Just check if there's any more questions. So the yarn mage asked me, well, she asked me a question which is silly and is self-serving to ask it. It was basically a compliment. Thank you so much, you silly little beast. But she also asked what loom is best for versatility and simplicity. She wants to make a lot of things, but she's not really interested in making fancy patterns. So I would go for the widest loom that you can fit comfortably in your house, whether that's something that you want to sit on your lap, or whether you want to have a whole table set over to it, or whether you want to have a stand to actually fit it on in a corner to put it in. They can be quite big. So it depends on the amount of size you have in your house as to the biggest size that you can get, because the width I'm talking about now, not the depth of it or any of the extra accoutrements, the width of it is going to determine how flexible it's going to be and how much or little fabric you can make on it. For me, if I was to go, like I'm gonna, like the only looms I know are rigid heddle looms. They're very simple. They are quite versatile. If you're not interested in doing like multi-shaft loom pattern complex stuff on it, then I would definitely recommend you just do a rigid heddle loom. They're relatively inexpensive. I mean, you'd probably be under €200 would get you a 24-inch loom. If you'd have to have a stand or a table for that, and the stand would probably set you back another €100, being realistic. Then you've got to think about your heddles and your shuttles and things like that. So it depends on price, it depends on the size of your room. But I think the next loom I'm going to get is probably the 24-inch. I kind of have this inkling to weave trousers. Is that crazy? I think it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Yes. Sorry, I'll talk about the looms first and I'll get back to the pre-wash. Yes, you do have to pre-wash your fabric before you make it into masks. And I put it on a really high heat. I chucked them all in. None of the edges had finished and I came out with a massive tangly ball of fraying edge mess, but it was fine. I cut it all off and it's fine. I was terrified. I was like, oh God, but I managed to save it. It's grand. Yeah, so I think for versatility, for ease of moving around, you can do two heddle patterns on the rigid heddle loom. But if you wanted to move on to patterns, something like, if you start moving up, there's a small little, like a samplet called the Erica loom, which looks adorable. And it's got like heddles that you can flick up and flick down, which are so cute for patterning in it. But that one is only like, I think it's only 16-inch or maybe even a 10-inch. Very cute, very nice. And it's like a tabletop or a laptop loom. And those are all going to be probably under about €300. I don't know about the Erica loom, might be more expensive, but it kind of jumps then from semi-reasonable, like, oh, it's a birthday present, yay, or a Christmas present or something that someone could buy for you if that money was kind of, everyone's feeling of money is different though, so depending on where you are, blah. But if you're going to go for a big floor loom, it's going to jump into the thousands really quick. And the benefit of the floor loom, I guess, is the multi-shaft for like lots of different twill patterns and beautiful shapes, and reeling off meters and meters and meters of fabric, really wide. That's kind of, you'd want to be making it commercially, to be honest. Lots of people told me at the start, don't bother with the rigid heddle loom, just go straight in and spend €1,000 or €2,000 on a wolf or a baby shacked or something like that. And I was like, girl, I don't have the space nor the money for that. And I've gotten so much out of the rigid heddle loom, and I don't know, I like it. But it's the only one that I've managed to get. It's the only one that I have the space and can afford to get right now. And maybe if I sell all this stat, I might be able to afford a big massive loom. But yeah, so for versatility and things like that, for versatility and simplicity is what you've said to me. To me, versatility means you can move it around, you can do quite a lot on it without it being too complex. Definitely a rigid heddle. A 24-inch will give you a nice amount of size. Some people use the knitter's loom, which is quite nice. It can fold up, but sometimes the tension issues can be a problem. So I don't really recommend that one. But other people love it. So you have a 24-inch loom and you use it on your lap. Very good. I like that. That is optimistic. Annie's saying, you love watching me even though you're a crocheter. Nice to hear your advice about masses. I want to make some this week. Good, excellent. I'm delighted. There's a textile centre in Minneapolis. Has a bunch of big looms. I think you can try it out too. You want to see if anything clicks. That's a good idea. Try and sit in one and kind of meet a guild maybe, and join a guild and see if you want to try a few. You can rent a few if you want. You don't have to buy them instantly. Bex wants to do more weaving that's not cardboard looms, but don't know where to go for their cause of space. Definitely the rigid heddle loom, Bex. Rigid heddle loom. Have a flick through a weaving magazine, see what you're attracted to and what shafts it takes. I started out with a rigid heddle, but realized you're into things that aren't easy to do on a rigid heddle. Yeah, exactly. Like if you have you considered making a weaving tutorial DVD? No, I have not. Sounds like I need better equipment to do that. The Eric is up to 50 centimeters. Wow! Oh, I might get that. Because, you know, it's nice to be able to do patterns. 50 centimeters. Wow, that's good. An Erica 4 shaft. Very pretty. Rigid heddle looms are great for deciding if you love weaving enough to invest in a floor loom. Exactly. If you love it enough, and if you are literally going to invest in a big piece like that, rigid heddle looms are a great place to start and figure out if it really captures your heart. I don't have the space or time to dedicate to it now. It's a good bit of money for you. Yeah, I know. But you can rent them, Bex, from the guild. I know you were saying you wanted to join. So I'm checking out 3D printing a rigid heddle loom. Ooh, that would be cute. All you need to do is really just do the heddles. The heddles are the trickiest bit, and then you can use like a frame, or you could 3D print anything, to be honest. Yeah, you could definitely 3D print the edges. I suppose cutting it would be, I don't know how 3D printing works. Warping is so much easier on a rigid heddle loom. You've taken it. It takes days to warp a complex project on a fuller loom. You would be right. You can do a lot of direct warping, which is really nice. Have we been live for 100 minutes? Oh my goodness! Right. So I better shut up now. Oh, I just wanted to say one more thing. So Camel Crochet, so Camilla was asking me, could we do the sit and spin online if you want to join me for our regular knit night? I hope to be organizing one once I get my head around the times and things. 24-hour stream, stop it. So yeah, so if you'd be interested in an online knit night through Zoom, if everyone is sick of Zoom, there is a really nice knit night called the International Virtual Knit Nights, which is highly organised by Phil and Eleni down in Greece, and that's really fun. I'd really recommend that. I am sometimes on there, but it's really tricky with my shifts. My shifts are all over the place. We've doubled all of our night shifts. So yes, if you would like to join, I think I will try and set up a small little one for my local knit night. But yeah. Also, yes, is there a spinning call thing you know of? Don't know why you're talking about pigs. Comment again. Explain. So yeah, those are all the things that I've been doing today. And for the last couple of days. Thank you for joining me so much. I love you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. This bit always feels icky, but maybe people don't realize that they're not subscribed. Please, please. Please subscribe. Thanks. Also give a thumbs up. Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. Because it's nice. I need validation, okay? I just need it. I need it in my heart and soul. Oh, that's nice. Thanks so much. Thanks. Oh, I can see them pinging up there now. That's gas. That's funny. Okay, so oh, there's another one. Yay, thank you. Is like the guild meeting in the Constant Knitter but online. Yeah, it would be like that. Definitely. All right, so I'll see you all later. Stay safe. Wash your hands and eat well. Try and get out for a bit of air if you can. And oh, I did say that. Story time. Oh, thanks, Paul. I love you for watching. You heard some great advice. Remind people to sub rather than asking them to. I'm going to remind you to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. Just if you haven't, the button's there. Tick, 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 tick. But anyway, if you follow me on Instagram and stuff, that's great as well, because I do most of my online stuff on there. And you can follow people over, so blah, blah, blah. Have a lovely evening. I will hug the kittens for you. Actually, James. Yeah? Have you got a beans there by any chance? Yeah. Could I have a beans? The fluffy kind, not the eating kind. We have actually beans all the time, so very important to distinguish. A bowl of beans! He likes likes to sleep in this bowl. It's really heavy. Look at his bow tie. Can you see his bow tie? Where's his bow tie? My God, he's so fluffy. Oh my God, he's so fluffy. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. I know you want to do this, so I'll do it for you. That's good stuff. Do you love your fans? Say hi to your fans. All stretchy. Okay, I'll just put you down there, so maybe you'll count with that. Don't leave me. Well, fine. It's a cat trap. And you've been caught.